Hey you guys, it's Janine here from the Wealth Building Academy, and I wanted to film my 5-month pregnancy update. So I'm a little late to filming this. I was actually out of town for one of the weekends that the 5-month ending and the 6-month starting kind of ended on, and then I think last week the weather was just terrible, so I didn't get around to filming it, but here we are. Well, I guess for starters, we had our 20-week ultrasound, and it went really well. Baby has 5 fingers. Baby has 10 fingers and 10 toes, and baby had a heartbeat of 145 beats per minute, so that was perfect, and is about 10 inches long. So it was really awesome because Andrew, my husband, actually got to come to this ultrasound. So this is the first one he's been able to because of COVID. And so he was able to see baby moving around. We saw baby drinking the amniotic fluid, and we were able to see all of the parts of baby, which was just so sweet. And we love baby already without obviously even knowing who baby is. They also mentioned that baby was about half of a pound at this point, which is crazy to think. It's still so small, and it's going to get obviously much bigger before baby comes out. We spent that weekend after the 20-week ultrasound with my mom in town, and we actually painted baby's room. I'm sitting in baby's room right now filming this. We painted the walls kind of a gray with a little bit of a blue undertone. It's a little more blue than I would like, but overall I'm really happy. We're doing an elephant themed nursery, so whether it's a boy or a girl, this is a fairly gender neutral room. We've set up the crib, and we've started to get some baby items, which is awesome and something to focus on in this pandemic that's a little bit more positive than kind of the increased number of cases that we've started to see here in Alberta as kind of phase 2 has opened. Baby is kicking a lot. I've been able to feel baby since like week 14, which a lot of people have found strange, but my placenta is at the back, and that makes it a little bit easier. Baby likes to dance at like 11:30 at night when I'm laying down and trying to sleep, but that's okay. I totally love feeling baby move, and it's a little bit of reassurance as well, making me kind of feel a little bit better. We also met our doula, who we hired, a referral from a friend. She's fantastic. I definitely love her. We had phone calls with her before, but never really met her in person again because of the COVID restrictions. And so we went through kind of all the stages of labor and how to best kind of support through those. And so we'll have another meeting with her in August, and then a last one in October before baby comes in November. One of the things I've noticed being kind of halfway there or just over halfway there is that I have started to develop a little bit of a waddle, my husband says, as well as my chiropractor. My chiropractor and my massage therapist have been basically my saving grace throughout this pregnancy. I don't know what I would do without them. I've been seeing my chiropractor every 2 to 3 weeks and my massage therapist every 3 to 4 weeks, which has been helping quite a bit actually with my legs. That's really the only pregnancy symptom I still have is in the evenings. It kind of feels like creepy crawlies in my calves, and my toes just feel like they always need to crack, and my ankle is constantly cracking also when I lay down. So if anyone knows of any tricks to make this go away, I've been kind of at my wit's end. I started taking an iron drink supplement thing that a friend recommended. It's a really low dose of iron, so we'll see if that helps with kind of the restlessness. I've also been taking baths every night and stretching. Being kind of an ex-dancer, I definitely need to stretch or my muscles and joints get really sore. But I think regardless, when I lay down, my legs get super restless and super fidgety, and it's not the most fun I've ever had. But other than that, like, I've been feeling really good. I had a little bit of, I guess, fatigue kind of weeks 18 to 20. So I think baby was going through a little bit of a growth spurt because I was exhausted. But my energy's kind of coming back now. I don't necessarily need that afternoon nap anymore. And I have kind of stopped all of the cravings that I had, I guess, a little bit earlier in the pregnancy. Really, it was only grapefruit and lemonade were the only two things I've kind of craved throughout this pregnancy. We also don't cook meat, so I haven't really had any aversions. But yeah, there's not a lot of news, I feel. This pregnancy, that was my ankle, has been really easy, which I know it can be challenging for a lot of women. So I guess I'm kind of really fortunate and grateful for that, but it's also kind of sucked in the pandemic. I have a friend trying to plan like a socially distanced baby shower, and I know that's incredibly challenging, trying to find space and make sure it's outside, and you know, the weather has to cooperate. So I guess being pregnant in COVID is very different. I was definitely spending some time reading through other articles of women who were kind of going through the same thing, and it is really isolating. And you know, with the cases going up, obviously the concerns are what they were at the beginning of COVID, which is not being allowed a second support person if you go to the hospital to have your birth. Some of the supports like massage or chiro closing down, and I guess ultimately, you know, not being able to be surrounded by your support system when you're pregnant and then ultimately right after the birth of your child. So my fingers are crossed that we kind of get everything together here in Alberta and we are able to go forward kind of with the birth that we're looking forward to having. I think at this point we've kind of are leaning towards going to the hospital and hopefully having both my midwife and my doula and my husband in the room. Obviously my midwife will be there because she's delivering the baby, but the other two, obviously I'm really just hopeful that we don't crack down on that again and only allow one support person, because I think that could be obviously a challenging choice for some people. Obviously my husband's going to come into the room when we are giving birth to our child, but I would really like to have a doula there as well. In terms of names, we've settled on first names and middle names regardless of what the sex of the baby is. So that's pretty straightforward. It was really easy for us. We had kind of settled on a lot of names that we liked before baby was even a thought. I think for us, boy names were a little bit more challenging than girl names. We have some really great girl names lined up. But I think I also really like the boy names that we've picked. So we won't be sharing those obviously until baby's here in November. Other than that, I will show you my baby bump because it's kind of come out a little bit more now. So I am a little bit late filming this, but hopefully you can see. There's baby. I can still suck it in pretty flat, but 5 months pregnant. You can definitely tell I'm pregnant when I'm walking. Again, probably the waddle, but also the belly is starting to come out, and I've had some people be like, oh, when are you expecting? And I have totally forgot that I even was pregnant. So I guess that's been good that it's coming out, and started to wear some maternity clothes. I guess I've been, again, fortunate there. I haven't really spent a lot of money there. I had 2 friends give me a bunch of maternity clothes. Obviously, we've been working from home. Time Maternity also had a closing out sale, which was fantastic. I picked up this t-shirt and a couple other things from there as well. My mom took me shopping for a couple of outfits, which was awesome. And I've scored some dresses and jeans on Facebook Marketplace for super cheap. So I think I've spent like under $200 on maternity clothes, which has been fantastic. I really didn't want to spend a lot on maternity clothes just because you're only pregnant for like 9 months and you really don't need to wear all of those clothes until you're in your second trimester. So I know I'll wear some of them postpartum, and so I did try and focus on stuff that was both maternity and postpartum and breastfeeding for the maternity clothes that I picked up. So that's all I have for you. I will be filming my 6-month update in a couple of weeks. Time is flying. I can't believe we're kind of down to the last 3 to 4 months of this pregnancy. And I guess if you have any advice or any words of wisdom, I am always happy to hear, so maybe share them in the comment section below. Thanks, and I will see you next week.